Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the daily recap. I'm going to keep this brief. As you can see, I am doing this from my home. I hope you enjoy. It is Friday. It is the tail end of August. Many traders are going on vacation, myself included. I'll be out next week. And I know Mark Sperling also is out next week. So let's jump right into it here. Let's do a little review of the indexes and some stock specific before we wrap it for the day. It's only about 3:35, so there's about 20 minutes left in the trading session. So, anything can happen, but we suspect that we're going to close pretty much in this area. So let's take a look real quick here. Going into the S&Ps, notice the 21-day average here, which I talked about in prior videos. Very controlled pullback. This is what we like to see for the bulls. Very controlled, methodical pullback into a rising 21 where buyers stepped in. I said that 140 level would be crucial. And if we look intraday, we can see that that 140 mark down here. We didn't quite get to 140, but we got as low as about 140.20 before the day, the rally started to ensue. That trade started to happen intraday. So let's keep an eye on how this plays out into next week. We could anticipate some more upside early next week here, assuming we close like this. New tradable level against today's low. So let's mark that low off. Let's take a look at some other stocks that I know have a lot of eyeballs. Apple, of course. Look at the rising 8 here. We've gone into contraction. We saw a heavy bout of selling, which was, I believe, Tuesday. And since that point, it's become very, very choppy. Let's look at a smaller time frame. You can see that choppiness. This was the sell-off on Tuesday and a lot of up and down here. So a nice base building here, and we suspect that this stock is not done, or at least I suspect it's not done. And a trade through roughly 670, I think we're going to see, maybe a move into that 700 mark. So we're going to keep an eye on that long setup into next week. Intraday, we saw a move, from the open. We saw a little bit of a gap down this morning in Apple. You can see gapping down slightly and then rallying back, going into that 670 mark where, again, it's started to fade off here towards the tail end of the day. So we're going to keep an eye on that 670 mark. Google, another one I talked about. 680 is sort of the line in the sand, and it's been hovering under 680. You can see here, just to make it nice and clean, you can see that line right here, that resistance, just hugging under that resistance. So any trade here above 680 in Google, probably buyable. And the daily chart still looks very strong here. You can see for the most part, the better part of the week, the stock's really just consolidated. We did see one drawdown into the 8. I believe that was Tuesday, but really starting to just digest and looks to me like it wants to break out of this range. So look for that trade again early next week above 680. Another high flyer, sort of the forgotten soldier here, Priceline. After the earnings report, we saw the big spike down. A little bit of mean reversion happening here, but not a fast money type trade. This stock's slowly beginning to climb, but there's really not much in terms of a trade or price action here. I like it on the long side for a little bit of a higher price against this pivot low here at 580. But this is a very high beta, high risk type play, so make sure that fits your risk parameters. Another high beta stock that we saw take a major haircut post earnings was Chipotle, CMG. And again, it got back to the 8, but really has been languishing here. And I suspect this one looks like it might go lower. Could not really put any type of rally together over the last couple of weeks while the market's been making new highs. This one's sort of just stalling out. So it wouldn't surprise me that if we broke this level right here, which is roughly 290, we could see new lows and we could see them rather quickly. So keep an eye on that one on the short side into next week. A lot of relative weakness there. Baidu, the stock du jour from yesterday. Like I said in the morning call, I suspect this one's going to be hard money. It had a really impulsive, move down, and usually when you get this type of trade, it's got to reset itself. I wouldn't necessarily be a buyer and I wouldn't even be a short seller here for anything other than just an intraday type of quick money day trade. This to me is going to need time to repair itself, whether it's some sort of basing pattern, or bear flag, or something like that. I suspect that this is going to be very choppy over the next couple of sessions, if not a couple of weeks here before these averages catch up. And I think, for those that are looking to trade this stock, it did have a big move down. We did tail up yesterday. But again, I suspect that this is going to be a very difficult stock to get your hands around for anything more than just, a few minutes at a time, or a morning session or an afternoon session. Some ags that I mentioned this morning, CF, starting to come off a little bit here, little pullback, not totally unexpected or unhealthy. These have had big moves. Potash, another one, you can see the selling. Monsanto. So trades that I think need to be watched, not necessarily at actionable levels right here, right now, but stuff that I would keep on the radar, over the next couple of weeks. There's been some good opportunity there for the day traders more so than the swing traders. Banks, let's take a look at Goldman. We saw a move in Goldman earlier in the week up to the 107, 108 mark, right around here. But then we've pulled back, you can see, into the 21, which is still rising. That's where we bought. That's where this setup happened last time. And again, tailing up today. So keep an eye on today's low to see if it becomes a more significant area of support for potentially another trade higher. While the banks have sort of stalled out here, there's still decent looking bullish opportunity in here. They're still holding in relatively well. Obviously, you'd like to see a little more bank participation, with the market at highs, but unfortunately, these stocks seem to have their own agenda, and they need to be traded accordingly. So, a little bit of a walk around Wall Street. Like I said, into Labor Day, end of summer, it's time to relax. It's time to enjoy yourself. It's time to refocus. There is opportunity out there. It is a very stock selective trade right now. Stay with the high beta ones. Stay with the Apples and the Googles and the ones that really are performing. I just want to, pop back over to the chart for a second. Let's take a look at Amazon. Really a VTF favorite here. Again, look at the daily chart, holding the 8, breaking out again today. This one to me looks like it wants higher. Very bullish looking pattern here. And I suspect that, you want to keep this one on the long side into next week. Closing out the week very, very strong here. So as far as, opportunity to the long side, I really would stay with, the ones that have been performing very, very well. Just a handful of symbols out there. But it is a trader's market right now. There are good tradable opportunities if you're structured, strategic, if you know where you want to be and why. And for now, it is a summer tape. I will be gone next week, as will some of my colleagues. So keep it light and make sure that you're prepared so that we go back into the post Labor Day trading. Hopefully, we'll see a little more volume come back into the market, and we'll see this opportunity to continue. It's been some very, very good tradable opportunity. The month of August was marked by a lot of buying. We had a nice move in the market. A lot of traders did very, very well over the last couple of weeks. So make sure you are coming in each day and each week with a very, very solid, actionable plan. As always, have a great weekend. I will talk to you after Labor Day because I am going on vacation. I'm very excited about that. So have a great week, and I will see you soon. Take care, everybody.
Hello everybody, my name is Pete Renzulli, Chief Marketing Officer of T3Live.com. I'm really excited about introducing you to and inviting you to the first T3 Live Active Trader Summit. There's going to be a ton of great content, but the number one reason you want to come is you want to be able to network and associate with other like-minded people who have a burning desire to learn how to be a trader. So I'm going to ask you to make a trade. Trade one Saturday for some of your time to come down and learn strategies, tactics, techniques, and put some faces to the people that you see in the virtual trading floor in T3 Live, and learn to take your trading bigger. Learn how to be a better trader than you are now. Learn the strategies. It's going to be a lot of fun. Go to T3Live.com and register. If you would like to join us at the post-event cocktail reception, you can also upgrade to either premium or VIP. That's up to you, but either way, please take advantage of the general admission, 2 free tickets. Come down and expect to have a great time.